Welcome back. Once again, you have reached PayDirt. I'm your host, PayDirt, with your host, Pay Saunders. What's going on, Pay?
How's it going, my boy B? It's been a while, man. Where you been?
Stuck in traffic for 2 weeks. Well, not really. Not really. I was stuck in traffic 1 week, and you were stuck in traffic the other week. But Pittsburgh and Atlanta, man, sometimes it's going to get you. Or were you in Chicago? You might have been in Chicago then.
No, I was in Chicago then. It started to snow. Right 15 minutes before our show. I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, bro.
Yeah, and the way things are right now this time of year, the weeks are jam-packed. So when you miss the day, it gets a little tough. Especially you're on about 47 podcasts.
Yeah, man, it's definitely tough trying to find that window to content create. If you miss that available window, it's kind of hard to book another time slot, you know.
Yeah, you and Big G are like the Travis Hunters of the podcast game. You playing on both sides of the ball, just 180 snaps a game, just wild stuff.
Playing both sides. So yeah, I mean, we still got our ride or dies, coming in. Hi, Afton. Appreciate you rocking with us again. Listen, like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Go ahead, hit us up on there. We're coming live right now on both the Running Through the Jungle channel and the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan. So make sure you guys. They go both ways. Thank you, Afton. That's correct. I was avoiding saying that, as much as I could, but there it was. So, listen, we're right where we left off the last time. Winning percentage just shy of 60%, 59.4%. So let's finish with a bang for the folks. Get everybody over that 60% win percentage. I do want to tell you, I was very upset with myself. The first week, I was stuck in Pittsburgh traffic. If you've ever been here, I got stuck on the Liberty Bridge, right coming through onto the Liberty Bridge before you get into Liberty Tunnels. There's an accident, and I just got stuck. Nothing you can do about it. And I was sick though because I went 5-1 on my picks, and I was like. I was a little bit upset we didn't get to share those with the people. I thought to myself, man, I should just put something out on social media or something. And then last week came and I was like, oh no, never mind. I went 2-4. I would have given that back to you. So the game giveth and the game taketh away, B.
Quickly sometimes. Tim says he doesn't even like me. Why would I like your show? It's on the same channel you're on. That would be a good reason. Keeps his brother in good standing with his bookie. That's another reason.
Shout out to him.
But hey, man, we got a strange week to talk about here because normally it's we go into college, we go into the are there any MAC games? Little Tuesday Maction. Is there what did we talk about there, or what are we looking at early? We got NFL games all over the place, college games all over the place. Full slate for Thanksgiving week, one of my favorite weeks. I think we should just keep it the way we normally do and roll with these college games first, don't you?
I actually don't. I mean, we got pro football. Four games before Saturday hits.
Okay. I can dig it, man.
First ever Black Friday game.
Yeah, they're taking over the airwaves, dude.
Without further ado, let's go ahead and get the people what they want. Big.
Yeah,
they're bullies. The NFL are bullies. They don't care about anybody
Christmas
else.
Day now, snatching that from the NBA. I dig it though. I'm all here for it.
Yeah.
We start off with your Chicago Bears at my adopted team, the Detroit Lions.
Let's talk about them. All right. B, should I start this? The Bears, as of right now on DraftKings, are 9.5-point dogs going to see Detroit Lions, who are 10-1 on the season, and they're destroying teams as of late. The total is 47.5. Here's why I'm optimistic about the Bears. Not only covering, but outright winning. One, the Bears have lost on the last player of the game 3 out of 5 weeks. Right? Obviously, that means they will be in contention to cover this 10-point spread, nearly 10-point spread. 2, the Detroit Lions are due for a loss. They have won 7 games in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
they've won 7 games in a row. They've got 7 games in a row. A lot of their team is banged up. It's a short week. David Montgomery and Amon-Ra St. Brown, even though they were full participants in practice today, they're still questionable. And if you saw their injury on Sunday, it did look kind of iffy. If they weren't on a long winning streak, I think they might even, if they didn't have the opportunity to clinch a playoff spot tomorrow, I think they might sit. Third reason, the Detroit Lions, they have not won a Thanksgiving game since 2016. In fact, and 3 of those losses in that span have come to the Bears. All these reasons, I got the Bears covering this 9.5-point spread. Give me the Bears. 27-25.
Yeah, so here's where I'm at. First thing comes out, you got the Lions versus the Bears. I immediately saying I've been riding on the Lions coattails here for the past several weeks and winning some money with it. They've been covering the spreads as far and winning the games. Carlton Davis, the cornerback being out, I think is going to play a little more of a key here than I'd like to admit or see. Also, Taylor Decker, left tackle, is out. And the offensive line, you could make an argument, has been the key for this team. They've been some bullies running the ball, and it's a lot mostly because of that offensive line. Now, Amon-Ra St. Brown did full practice today. David Montgomery, full practice today. Those two are expected to go. Terrion Arnold, full practice today. DJ Reader. The other one that is unknown, though, is Raymond. And more so than being that third wide receiver, at third or fourth wide receiver, he really has done a great job flipping field position for them this year. Very good at punt return and kick return. Immediately I wanted to get on the Lions bandwagon again. It's getting a little tougher to do right now. And listen, your boy's been playing a little bit better at quarterback too. I could see why you'd ride with this one. I'm going to probably abstain.
Yeah, it's probably smart money to try to abstain. 10 points, if it going in a direction for the Detroit Lions, all right, a 10-point spread, well, 9.5 now. It was 10 earlier today. In fact, it was 10 an hour ago. That is a large spread to expect anybody to cover. And we'll talk about large spreads a little bit more on other teams that usually get large spreads. That's a heavy thing to ask for a team, right? Any given Sunday, even on Thursday, any given Thursday is a real thing. Caleb Williams, as they have shown with the new offensive coordinator Thomas Brown, their offense has ticked up in a very, very real way. And if you've paid attention to the Bears versus the Lions in the last 2 seasons, in fact, under the Dan Campbell regime, those have majority of the time been close games. And now the Bears did upgrade a quarterback, move on from Justin Fields, and now they got Caleb Williams. I expect that to be another close game. Now, if something changes and the Detroit Lions end up winning 30-20, I wouldn't be shocked by that either, because the Detroit Lions are a good team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm going to bet, a lot of things with betting, you're betting trends, you're trying to see the things, you're trying to foresee the unthinkable, foresee the things that are not likely to happen, right? So you want to make sure you cover all your bases. These are the things I'm telling you, like, it can happen. The Bears can cover this spread, and the Bears can't mess around and win this game.
Yeah, listen, if the Detroit Lions finish the season at 14-3, great season, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, to think that they're gonna go 16-1 is probably a little bit, I would say more than rose-colored glasses, to be honest with you. So, I get it. I'm going to abstain from it, but I get why you would want to put some ducats on the Bears here. I think we should highlight all of these Thursday night games, whether we really want to or not, because it's Thanksgiving. So these Thursday games are where it's at, and a lot of people are going to be sitting around half comatose after eating turkey. And if you're like me, instead of if you need a little mental break from everybody, you just dig up that phone and start looking at the lines. Maybe start looking at some in-game betting. Maybe look at some prop bets. Whatever you want to get into. The Giants are going to Dallas to play the Cowboys. I haven't even heard, is Tommy Cullins starting again? Who knows? But the Giants are getting 3.5 points. Over under 37.5. Ugh.
Last I heard, Mr. DeVito, he's on the injury report now with a forearm injury. So you might even get Drew Lock this game.
I would expect that to be an upgrade.
Of course it's an upgrade. Drew Lock is actually the number 2 quarterback on the depth chart. I don't know why they went to Tommy DeVito. I don't know why they named him starting quarterback after releasing Danny Jones, but they do a lot of weird things in New York, the Meadowlands. You saw Hard Knocks. I don't understand what they do in the front office, but what they do, and they get the results from it. So I'm going into this game not knowing who the quarterback is, but whoever the quarterback, they are less than a starter, right? But even though, with that said, if the other team doesn't know who to plan for, that gives the Giants the advantage. And with them having the advantage over the Dallas Cowboys, who are not a very good team in their own right, you probably understand why this spread is 3.5. Because all things considered, the Dallas Cowboys, they have a very, very good recent track record against the Giants. I think they've won 7 of 8 or 8 of 11, something like that. I have to look at the whole stat. But because there's such a toss-up about who the quarterback is, this line being at 3.5 is very fair. And the same reason why you said you would abstain from last game, until I have clarity about who the quarterback is going to be, I do not want to put any money out there on this game just to be played with.
I would put a chastity belt on this game. There'll be no play whatsoever for me.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even look at the money line on a parlay builder. I think that is those two teams. I mean, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, to a T. I'm out.
Agreed. Now, the last game on Thursday is probably going to be the best game of the day, right?
Agreed.
You got those Packers, disgusting Packers, and another shade of green coming into Lambeau, the Miami Dolphins. Did you see the weather for this game, B?
Cold, not snow, not too much wind, but I think it's in the 20s at game time, and will get colder.
At some point in the game time, it's going to get under 30 degrees, so it's going to be below freezing.
Yes. Not ideal.
So
not ideal for our boy Tua.
not ideal for that offense coming out of Miami. Right. Agreed. But also, the last time we saw the Packers in cold weather, they didn't look too comfortable themselves. Maybe that's because they was getting their tail kicked by a superior team, the Detroit Lions. Who knows? But I expect this game to be the best game of the day. But when you take in those other variables, it could mess around and be a very underwhelming, very low scoring game. The Tua offense doesn't really get going in cold weather. We saw this in January against the Kansas City Chiefs in their playoff matchup. Even though they're a hot team, that offense gets cold. The Packers, their offense, a little bit more. You know a little bit more what they're gonna give you. They're a run first team. Jordan Love, he's Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, to steal a phrase that you used earlier.
Yep.
He turns the ball over quite often, but I would lean to the Packers to win this game just because they are at home and they should be more comfortable in the elements than what Miami would be.
Yeah, I think the key to this game is Josh Jacobs. I see him going for over 100 yards against this Dolphins defense. I think his game translates better to this cold weather than anybody on either side of the offensive side of the ball for either team. So that gives the nod, I think, to the Packers. I don't like that hook. You know that about me. That 3.5 I don't like. So this is one I'm going to use in a parlay and take Packers on the money line.
I actually think the Packers should win this game by 5 points at least. So the 3.5 is not a big of a deterrent for me. I think I like the Packers to win this game 28-21, 28-23, something in that fashion.
Makes sense. Black Friday.
So we both have the Packers winning.
Yep. Add it to the slip.
All right.
All right, let's take a look here. Black Friday, we've got the black hole going to Kansas City. The Chiefs are favored by 13 points over under 42.5. I think you were talking about large lines earlier. Might have been
I was.
to this right here.
I definitely was. So even though Kansas City they're 10-1 on the season, they're 5-6 against the spread on the season. This line has moved in the opposite direction within the last hour. When we got on the call, I was putting my bets in. It was 12. Now it's 13. I'm more convinced, even more convinced, Kansas City is not going to beat this team by 2 touchdowns. Even though the Raiders are a little bit in disorganized, a little disarray going on over there in Vegas, they're not going to lose by 2 touchdowns to a division opponent. The Raiders have given them hell before. I got Kansas City winning this game 27-17.
Yeah, the only concern obviously is Minshew out with for the remainder of the season. You're going to see Desmond Ridder at quarterback. That said, this is one of those one unit, bet it blindly. Anytime the Chiefs are over 10.5 point favorites, I bet it blindly for 1 unit. It was like when we used to be able to, just count on the Steelers under.
We are copacetic there.
Brock Bowers could give them some fits too.
That's the first 4 NFL. You expect Desmond Ridder to lean on him because Desmond Ridder threw the ball a lot to the tight end when he was in Atlanta. Oh wait, He didn't. Huh. We shall see. I still don't believe in the Chiefs beating anybody by 2 touchdowns because they have to.
Yep. All right. What do you see next in the NFL slate? We're on to Sunday now. What piques your interest?
Let's move on to Sunday. So, first game I wanted to highlight in the 1 o'clock window was the Colts against against the New England Patriots. The line is 2.5, and the total is 42.5. The Colts, even though their record is 5-6 on the season. Yeah, not a very impressive record. But guess what? They're 8-4 against the spread on the season. That has me thinking, like, well, they're pretty good in these tight windows, right? Not so fast. The Patriots are not the exact pushovers as their record would assume them to be. With all things considered going in this direction, if I picking one of these two teams, I kind of think the Patriots can pull this game out as a 2.5-point home dog. I think they win this game straight up.
Man. So Richardson, again, he looks like an MVP sometimes and looks like absolute trash. Dumpster juice, to steal a Big G ism there. The remainder of the time, I don't know. I don't like either one of these teams. I'm staying away from it. I don't like it. No mas for me.
Yeah, worst starting quarterback in the league, and I think the Patriots, they understand who they are and what they do best. They know how they run the ball. They play good enough defense. He makes plays. I'm giving them the puncher's chance. I don't think the Colts are good in any one facet. They get away with some things, and that's caused them to win some games. But I don't think they're necessarily a good enough team to assume that this is a shot at a win. 2.5, they're going on the road. Funny week. I give the edge to the Patriots to win outright.
All right. We're going to agree to disagree on that one. My first 1 o'clock game that I liked was the Titans at the Commanders. So we got Titans at the Commanders. Titans are getting 5.5 points, but the over-under is 44.5. I'm not too overly impressed by either one of these defenses. I think they're going to find ways to score against each other. Both have been susceptible to giving up big plays. I like the over 44.5, man. I see this as like a 28-24 game. I like the over. Thoughts?
I like that. I liked your pick there to go over. I've been saying it all season. I don't think the Commanders' defense is as good as the numbers suggest they are. And I've been saying this for, in some crevices on some of the shows that I do. I don't think Jaden Daniels is as good as the media and some other people, some other homie bloviators would lead you to believe that he is. Yes, he's still front runner for the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. We'll talk about that later. But there's been a regression. He's come back to the pile. I think the teams figured him out a little bit. Yes, when he leaves the pocket, they know he's going to 80% of the time. When he's going to throw the ball, they know he's looking for a tight end or he's looking for a running back. They don't really target wide receivers all that often. They don't stretch the ball all that often, other than fluky plays. Shout out to Scary Terry on that that long touchdown play last week. But broken plays is when they get the ball down the field on the area yards. Other than that, this offense is really amateur hour. And going back to the other team, the Tennessee Titans. The only reason why I'm not picking the Titans to win this game outright, because the Titans haven't won 2 games in a row all season. I don't know if I will call this the week for them to finally do that. But the Titans are not trash. Their record is trash, but they're not a trash team. They have a very good defense. They play the ball. They play really sound on offense, other than when Will Levis is throwing the ball all over the place and making goofy decisions. They're not one of those teams that you can just easily discount. So with that being said, they showed you enough last week to let you know that they're in it, right? I would not be surprised if the Titans win this game. Now, I wouldn't put any money on them win this game again for the same reason I said. They haven't won 2 games in a row all year. Maybe that has something to do with them being consistent. Bad teams are not very consistent. Well, underwhelming teams aren't very consistent. I did just say they're not a bad team in most respects, right? But that 5.5, I think that's too high. Too much respect to give to the Commanders. I got the Titans to cover this.
Okay, I can see that. Listen, the Titans running backs have been playing better the past few weeks. Tony Pollard had a really nice week last week, popped a couple larger runs. And listen, rookie first-time head coach, some of that could be him getting his sea legs underneath him as far as, managing the offense, calling an offense, and game management underneath that. So there's a lot of things. I think you've seen some maturity in this Titans team and some upward momentum for them. I can see that. I like that.
All right, so let's go ahead and put that to the slip. And what's our next game?
I don't have anything else in the 1:00 games. I'm sure in the next show I do.
Let's move down to the game of the week, shall we?
I'm sure in the next show I do. We're going to be doing the Running Through the Jungle and Pump Your Brakes mashup, a little collaboration. I'm sure I'll get asked about that. So luckily Pay didn't have this on his betting slip, because I'd hate to have to tell you on here that I would take one team and then on the next one take the other one just to poke the bear. So we'll just let that ride.
Nah, B, stand 10 toes down. Get on every channel that you podcast from. Every show that you do, you stick with your take.
Nah. Those 2 guys are strong on me. I'm good.
There you go. All right. So I'm not going to ask you about the Steelers and the Bengals. We can go past that. Let's move on down to the game of the week. Those 4:00 kickoffs. Tampa Bay and Carolina. Nah, I'm joking. Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens.
It's going to be a great
How
game.
How do you see this going? It's a 3-point game still. Yeah.
No, it's a great game. It's going to be interesting to see what the Eagles defense can do against the Ravens. I think you bring up this stat all the time. Teams that don't play against Lamar, don't see him on a regular basis, do not defend him well. Makes me want to lean Ravens here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real stat. Lamar's career record against NFC teams is crazy. And so you already know how I'm leading in this game. The Ravens are 3-point favorites at home. The total's 50.5. I like the over because the Ravens defense tends to give up points, minus what you saw them do Monday against the Los Angeles Chargers. Shout out to Big Bro's constantly beating Little Bro. That's what we do. Other than that game, the Ravens give up points. That's what they've been doing it all season. The Eagles can score. Saquon Barkley, he's moving up the MVP odds. He's plus 475 last I looked at it earlier today. It's good money if you want to put that in, if you look for value, but put that in now. But I do not see the Philadelphia Eagles being able to win this game. I think their win streak is due for a loss. Lamar does not lose to NFC teams. In fact, he doesn't even play close games with NFC teams. He beats their heads in relentlessly. Lamar is just on a different planet right now. I'm sticking with the Baltimore Ravens. I got Lamar. I got a couple of prop bets too. I'm taking Lamar over on the passing yards. I'm taking Lamar over on the passing touchdowns. I'm taking the over 100 total yards on Saquon Barkley. I got the Ravens covering the 3. I got over 50.5 points. I cannot wait for this game. So you already know I'm gonna have a single game parlay set up for this game. But for the purpose of this show, I'm just going to tell you I got the Ravens covering the 3.
I'm on board with that one. And I'm looking forward to this game, and I think you're right. It's going to be a fun, exciting game. There's going to be some points scored. I do have another 4 o'clock game, I dig. Just on they need it. Yeah, just on they need it worse than the other team. I think the Rams are going to beat the Saints by more than 2.5.
I think I'm with you on that one.
I think they beat them. I'm gonna say 7 to 10 points.
Yeah, I think the new coach Swoon is about to expire with New Orleans. I don't think they're typically a good team. I mean, their offense spark has returned a little bit. Kamara, he's returned to form a little bit. They still don't have Chris Olave. They still are down a good quarterback because I don't think Derek Carr is good. I think his good days in the league are well behind him. The Rams are back healthy. The Rams are a better team. They're better coached. They have better players. All the signs point to you to being able they can win this game by more than a field goal. I'm with you, B. I think that's smart money. I think this is the easiest lock of the week. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Run, hide. All right. We got the Sunday night and Monday night games. Sunday night 49ers, mash unit going to the Bills. Bills are -7, over under 45.5. With I don't know about you, but with Purdy being questionable and things up in the air, and even if he does come back, it's a shoulder injury to his throwing shoulder. Hey, I don't want any part of this. I don't know what your thoughts are, but I'm out.
So a lot of the discourse on Purdy was that he's playing with a bunch of super team. He's playing on a super team, right? It's his weapons that are doing the work, not him. He's just putting the ball. He's giving the ball to great players, and they're making great plays. What did you see last week? No Purdy, thumping the 49ers took. And if Purdy doesn't play again, a better team is going to give him a similar thumping. So Similar to what I said earlier in the episode, when I said until I have clarity on the quarterback situation with
Yep.
New York, I need the same from San Francisco. They did say that he should be. They said when they ruled him out last week, they expect him to play this week. We shall see. I mean, they still got some more practices to get in, but if it starts trending in a way that I don't think Purdy's going to play, then I think I want to lock in this 7 before it goes to 13.
Yeah, I agree. Keep an eye on it. And even if he does play, I'm especially staying away from this altogether because I don't know what I'm going to get. So Monday night, Browns at Broncos. Broncos are favored by 5.5, over under 41.5. If I'm up some ducats, I may look at this, but it doesn't really do much for me. I think it's going to be, I'll be in bed early on Monday night.
Yeah, me too. I think the Broncos should go ahead and win this game fairly easy, 31-17-ish type of game. Cleveland has no reason to be up for this game like they were up to play the Pittsburgh Steelers, like they were up to play the Ravens earlier in the season. They have no reason to be up for this game, to my knowledge, rather. So yeah, I think the Broncos can win this game fairly easily, fairly cover that spread, 5.5, pretty easily. What about the total, 41.5? That's suspiciously low, don't you think?
Yeah, again, Denver, let's pay attention to the weather before we start diving into that on a Wednesday night.
I got you.
Could be a foot of snow this weekend.
So you're saying under, right?
I would could possibly be under, yeah.
I would lean under with the information I have today on Wednesday that the game on Monday scores less than 41.5. We'll add it and we'll talk about it a little later. All right. Do you have anything else for NFL?
That is the NFL. We're going to take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, our partners out here. If you're listening to us anywhere you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, whatever it might be, go ahead, give us that thumbs up, review, 5-star review, help us a lot. Subscribe, hit that bell, thumbs up if you're on YouTube. And if you got a second, share. Tell a friend to tell a friend about us, and we'll be right back. And we're back on PayDirt. Once again, it is your friends Pay and B Dirt. We got through our NFL picks. We are going to go into our college. I'm going to try to bring the music back for you. It looked like it was freezing us up there for a second. We'll see. I like the background music, but if we can't use it, we can't use it. I want to make sure you get the correct info more than anything. So we'll try and rock it, but if it doesn't work for us, we'll just take it out again. Let's get into this college games, man. I got a few I like. Unfortunately, it's probably not the marquee matchups everybody's interested in, but where would you like to start, Pay? I'll let you kick it off.
Oh, man. Alabama, man, what did you do to me? They pretty much ended their season last week. Losing to Oklahoma. Wow, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet on that one come Friday.
Yeah, that one hurt.
Let's talk Colorado against Oklahoma State. So Colorado, now thanks to Alabama moving out the way, they are a little bit more in the catbird seat again, the playoff bid, right?
How would they get that? They're ranked 25th.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, they did lose recently too.
Yeah, they got beat by Kansas.
Yeah, that's right. So many bad losses last week, man.
And
wow.
I don't know if you got to watch much of that or saw much of it, man. They played a little chippy. I don't want to know if I want to call it straight dirty. It's definitely a little chippy.
Colorado kind of brings that out of teams. I'm not saying that you should play chippy, play dirty, but a lot of teams get little amped up to shove it into Colorado players' faces. So I'm not surprised. All my games are going to have some type of playoff implications here. So even though the games that you want to talk about are not necessarily household names,
so you talking about Boise State?
Am off of that. So yeah, Boise State. Yeah, not Boise State. Is it Brigham Young or Boise State? That's in the 10th spot right now.
I thought that was Indiana.
Boise State.
They're 12th.
Maybe. Yeah. Indiana's 12. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about this one game here in the Big Ten. It is the game, some people call it, right? Michigan, Ohio State. Michigan has a 3-year winning streak against O State. This should be the year Ohio State wins this game, or Ryan Day is never going to coach again, ever, at any level higher than high school.
Wow.
As of right now, DraftKings has them as a 20.5-point favorite, total at 43. I think this is a lock. I don't know if there's any way possible, just with the way Michigan has played the last month, I don't think there's any way possible Ohio State does turn the clock back and make it look like Jim Tressel is on the sideline coaching this team. I got Ohio State winning 38-14.
Tressel played well against Michigan. John Cooper did not. I did say on Monday, I was listening to Big G and Sarah C over there on the Level Up podcast, Andy P. And I did say that if Ohio State loses this game, that Ryan Day will forever be compared to John Cooper and will not coach at Ohio State any longer. I'm sticking with that. I'm obviously, listen, rivalry games, they're weird a lot of times. I don't bet them when they're big spreads. I gotta see. I want them to be closely ranked on rivalry teams, and then look for what styles make the best matchups and where I think there could be a deciding factor. And that's not just for Michigan, Ohio State. That's for Auburn and Alabama and any other, major, the major rivalry games. I want them to be closer in talent, because these get weird, man. These get weird. I'm going to abstain from this one. I get it. Ohio State should win this one handily. If they don't, shame on Ryan Day. But who knows, man? Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, as you should. This is, even though you don't bet with your heart. This one's a little bit, little close. Cuts a little close. I agree. Rivalry games are a bit tough, right? That 20.5 is a little juicy. I'm gonna put it out there. We can discuss later. All right. I like this next game in the SEC. Tennessee and Vanderbilt. What you think about that?
Every time I expect Tennessee to come out and thump somebody, they just come out and lay an egg. So I expect Tennessee to come out here and handle Vandy. So therefore, you should probably take Vanderbilt.
The nerds strike again.
Yeah, what's your take on it?
So I think 10.5 is way too much respect to give to Tennessee right now. I agree with you. Every time you expect Tennessee to do something, they don't. Even when it's not. Even when you're not expecting them to just handle business, when you expect them to lose, they win. You expect them to handle business, they don't. So they're a little too risky for my money. If I'm putting them in a parlay, I don't want risk in my parlay. I want winners, and they are not winners. They are the exact thing that Mike Ditka not Mike Ditka, but Mike Singletary would have kicked out of his locker room when he was coaching the San Francisco 49ers. Can't win with him. Can't do it.
Yeah, I like Tennessee's running backs, man. I really do. There's a lot I like about Tennessee, but again, I trust issues at quarterback. You point to that. I think the kid's definitely got talent. He showed some electricity earlier in the year, and then flashes of it here and there, but not enough consistency. Again, chastity belt for me on that one.
All right. Miami lost the game in the ACC. So does that mean that Clemson has a shot at representing the conference in the championship game against SMU?
Yeah, but they got to beat South Carolina, correct?
They do. South Carolina's ranked 18th in the nation. Clemson ranked 17th. This is going to be a game for all the marbles.
Because they both have an ACC loss.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be the overall record.
Yeah.
I
Clemson
really like South Carolina.
Conference.
I like South Carolina's. Their quarterback's been playing better since coming back from being injured earlier. I really like South Carolina's defensive line. I kind of like this +3.
You do.
You like Clemson?
It's been a while since I said Dabo's got this. Oh man, I kind of think I want to believe that they can pick up the ball that Miami fumbled and get this and go back to represent the ACC like they have been for the last decade. But I just don't have the faith in Dabo like I thought I would. You know, I'm more apt to go with you on this one, the +3 for South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm not getting. This isn't a multiple unit bet. I'm not getting excited about this one. I might dabble in it.
Yeah. All right. I'm with you. I'm with you on this one. Go Cox.
Cockle-doodle-doo. Let me give you a boring game since you keep throwing all these hot ones out there at me. From your home state of Illinois, the Fighting Illini go to Evansville to take on the Northwestern Wildcats. Illinois is favored by 7.5 points. Illinois is favored by 7.5, and the Northwestern Wildcats I saw play in Ann Arbor last weekend ain't going to keep it that close. I'm taking Illinois in this one.
I like Illinois. I think that's an easy game for Illinois to win that game. Northwestern, ever since they had that scandal a little while ago, they haven't been good. Illinois is ranked, they're 25th in the nation, if I'm not mistaken. They've been pretty good all season. I don't think Northwestern is up to the task yet. It's not that far of a travel for Illinois either. They're about 3 hours south of Evanston, Illinois. Evanston isn't known to be a difficult place to play for opponents. Evanston's a pretty nice town right off the lake, just north. The closest northern suburb.
Friendly confines, kind of, you know.
I would say so. It's a really nice looking place. I could see Illinois coming in there, handling business, going back with a dub, an easy dub at that.
Yeah, I think it's a 2-touchdown game for sure.
Wouldn't shock me. It would shock me if it was a 10-point game.
Now I have another one since we're right there. This is more of a, Kansas has been playing better the past few weeks. They took care of business with Colorado last week, and now they're favored by 1.5 going into Waco to play the Baylor Bears, right? The Bears?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
But they're playing Baylor.
Golden Bears.
Yeah. So the Kansas is favored by 1.5 against Baylor. I want to say Kansas probably handles business here. Is there something I'm missing about Baylor?
I don't know why this line is so close. I mean, to be honest with you, Kansas, other than that surprise win they got on Colorado, Kansas is not a good school, not a good program this year. I don't think Baylor's 7-4. They're bowl eligible. They have 5 wins in the Big 12. I mean, I'm nothing sexy about them. They're better than Kansas, obviously, but why is this game so close? I have the same questions you have right now. I see that total at 62. That is interesting to me. They think there's going to be a lot of points scored, huh? 30 points for each squad?
Yeah.
I don't know, dog. I mean, to me, I would say nah. I would rather in-game bet this. I think this would be some fun in-game betting. But it's something about this game that I'm not aware of, and I don't want to get caught holding the bag when it blows up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Afton adds, Neal has been playing awesome ball. Running back out of Kansas had over 200 yards and 3 tutties last week. And they treat him like a bell cow, too. I mean, they're not afraid to give him over 30 carries. I don't know. Baylor beat Houston 20-10 last week. They've scored some points against the West Virginia, TCU, Texas Tech. Like, they'll get into some shootouts. I mean, Colorado beat Baylor 38-31. I don't know. I like Kansas in this one.
So you think Kansas is going to win 2 games in a row?
It's more than that.
This would be their 4th game. It would be their 4th consecutive win after starting the season 1-6. 1-5.
Beating BYU, beating Iowa State, and they beat 3 straight ranked opponents.
So it would be it'll be right on schedule for them to lose to a team that's not ranked.
Okay, fair. That's fair. All right, we do have.
I can see it. I don't know, man. Kansas. They just don't profile it the right way for me. I don't know. I think you might be jumping onto the hot streak at the tail
wrong
end.
time. The wrong
Yes.
time. Okay, I get it. I get that. There is another a big game out here this week for you to take a look at. So I got one more. I'm gonna refer to this one as Big Ten bum fights. If you remember back to the kid slice days, this is what this reminds me of. Penn State playing at home 3:30 against Maryland, favored by 25 points. It just seems like the kind of game they don't play up to snuff. I just don't see them beating somebody by 30. I think they still win this game, but I think it's a 2-touchdown game.
Yeah, I can't see the Fighting James Franklin's winning by 30. That's a little bit outside of their character. I don't like that one. As you see, DraftKings has it at 25. Total is 50.5. Yeah, I want to give Maryland more respect.
Maryland's not good. I mean, don't get me wrong.
No, they're not.
But I think if they put up 2 or 3 touchdowns, I think they cover the spread. I think they're going to do that.
So they haven't lost by that amount of points since week 1. Week 1, UConn beat them by 43 points. Every game against a Big Ten opponent, it's been less than the deficit It's been less than 20. Oh,
except Oregon. Now we can both agree Oregon's better than Penn State.
yes.
And Oregon beat them by 21 in Oregon. They flew all the way across the country to play them.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a 17-point game, man. 14 to 17-point game.
I think that's fair. I like it. I'm putting that on there. Let's go Maryland plus 25.
Terps?
Let's go Turtles. What else we got for Saturday?
Man, you got a big game at 7:30. The state of Texas gonna be hype.
Yeah, it's those. It's the fighting mods against the evil mods. Texas against the Aggies.
These teams don't play very often, or have not recently, I should say.
True. You got an SEC versus a Big 12 type of game. Oh wait, no, A&M's in the SEC too now.
SEC
right?
now.
Yeah. You're right. So you got a first time conference meetup between these two teams. Ugh. They should name this rivalry something. They should give it a good, cool name. Just because, cause since it's so random that they see each other, it should give it a name. In any case, they haven't played each other since 2011. It says, wow.
Hey, can we call it the Brisket Bowl?
I like that.
The Brisket
I
Bowl.
actually like that. The Bucky's Bowl. All right.
Bucky's Bowl. That actually may be a thing pretty soon.
It might be. And, they keep getting popular. They might be sponsoring a bowl sometime soon. Maybe. Shout out to Georgia. So you got the Aggies 5-point dogs at home, total of 49. Texas is only a 5-point favorite. Why would they only be a 5-point favorite? They're the number 1 team in the SEC. Should be, if all things stay the same, they'll be the number 2 seed in the playoff.
I don't know. And Texas A&M got beat last week, and they're still at 15. There's just a lot of questions I have there.
So let's see.
Got beat by Auburn in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Got beat by, they've lost 2 out of their last 3 games.
Yeah, they've lost their last 2 games in conference, both of them on the road. So maybe coming back home will be more of a get them right game, I guess. But Texas, the Longhorns, they're on a 4-game win streak, and they haven't lost since they lost to Georgia. All signs point to Texas still being able to handle this game, take this game to their 5th consecutive wins. Listen, if they have ideas of playing for another title, showing the SEC who's boss, they're not going to lose this game. They're going to get those style points that college football teams love to go get. They're going to get it against a team that they haven't seen in a while. The boosters are amped up for this game.
Mm-hmm.
On both sides. This is a classic rivalry. Everybody hasn't seen each other in over a decade. The smack talk is going to be good down there in Texas. There's no way the Longhorns aren't prepared. There's no way the Longhorns aren't ready to show the Aggies that they mean business. I got Texas covering the 5 easily.
I like Texas to cover the 5 too, and here's a big reason why. I get weird bias sometimes. We talk about bias in some of our other shows, and it's always about our team and our, people that used to play for our team or do play for our team or da-da-da. Here's where my bias comes in. if Texas A&M beats Texas in this game, then I've got to have a conversation for the next 2-3 weeks about whether a 3-loss team from the SEC is going to get into the playoff. I don't want to have that conversation. Texas gives Texas A&M their 4th loss. Get them out of my life.
There's only room for one 3-loss team on the SEC going to the playoffs. Roll Tide.
All right. So I like that. All
right.
right. Now we got 13 on our bet slip. We got to cut 7 of these out.
All right.
Take mercy on me and just get rid of that Ohio State line quick. Get rid of that.
Done. That is off.
Thank you.
That is off our slip. Now we're only looking
mercy killing.
Yes. Now we're looking at 12. Well, no, we have 15 now,
left.
Right? Or 6? 12. Okay. You're right. 12. I'm looking at the wrong number. All right. So let's start from the top with our NFL picks. We got the Bears, 9.5, plus 9.5 against the Detroit Lions. We have the Packers covering the 3.5 against the Dolphins. The Packers, you have the Packers just winning straight up.
Let's just take the money line. Let's just take the money line. Let's get a win.
Let's get the win. All right. Takes us down to 11. Raiders plus 13 against the Chiefs. Titans plus 5.5 against the Commanders. I gave you all the reasons why. I think the Titans are pretty good in this game, but I do want to throw this out there. Maybe they'll sway you, B. The Titans, they're 2-9 against the spread this season.
Will Levis could do Will Levis things.
True. Baltimore Ravens -3 against the Philadelphia Eagles. We got the over 50.5 in that same game. Rams -2.5 against the Saints. We got the Broncos covering the spread at 5.5 and the under 41.5 on that game.
Let's get rid of the Broncos in the under. Let's just get rid of that game altogether.
All right. Getting rid of Monday Night Football.
Let's not pay attention to it.
Oh, we are making hay. We got down to 9 so far.
All right. So let's go back up here. Let's 2-9. Will Levis being a little bit unreliable. Why don't you get rid of that Titans game too? What do you think?
All right. I'm not mad at that. Let's play the trends.
All right. Anything else you see there you think might be a little...
So far we got rid of Ohio State, we got rid of Monday Night Football, we've gotten rid of the Titans, and we've gotten rid of that's it so far. Oh yeah, we gotten rid of the Titans.
My favorite. So out of the 4 you can see right here, my favorite of those 4 are the Packers money line and the Ravens -3.
Your favorite is the Packers money line? I think it's best money that the Packers can outright win. So you're saying the sketchiest is the Raiders plus 13.
That and the over 50.5. And I would probably think the over 50.5 less sketchy than the Raiders.
I actually think it's the opposite. I think the over is a little bit more risque than the Raiders. Let's think about that for a second. Let's go down to college football.
Okay.
Let's see if we find anything down there we don't like. So we got rid of Ohio State. So that leaves us with Maryland plus 25 and Texas -5.
And we only got 2 bets in college football.
Yeah.
We got to keep them.
Okay. Let's keep them. All right. So
we got to cut 2 pro games.
So let's just split the baby. Let's just go ahead and get rid of the Raiders and the over.
Done.
There's our 6.
All right. So our 6, we've got the Bears plus 9.5. We got the Packers money line.
Mm-hmm.
See, this lets you know that we're out here trying to find value and trying to find wins for you guys, and not just over here bloviating like they do on a lot of podcasts, because
Our man Pay's over here taking the Packers for you. I mean, think about that.
I hate it.
I just want everybody to be aware that there's sacrifices being made on this show. We got the Ravens -3. We got the Rams -2.5. We got the Terps +25. And we got Texas Longhorns -5.
Yep.
That's our pick 6 for this week. I don't know,
That
man.
is, as you see, the odds for this is 3,765. That's almost 30 to 1.
Again, if you want to parlay them for a small amount, go ahead. Bet whatever you're comfortable with. I suggest you bet these things also straight on the line. I'm going to as well. I feel like this is a good 5-1 forward to 5-1 week, Pay.
I do as well. That's why I'm taking everything straight. And I'll throw a lottery slip out there just to see what happens. But yeah, I kind of like this.
I like it. We have a good week here. Thank you guys for all tuning in again. If you have not, hit like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up, hit that bell. Give us those 5-star reviews if you got a quick second. And if you don't mind sharing us, send us over to a friend that you know that may like to get into a little football gambling. We'll be here every Wednesday. We are back every Wednesday, 6:35. I'm done traveling. Work is a little less hectic during the holidays, so we're back in action, back in the saddle. Listen, if you're here watching us live at 8:05, we will be live again. Running Through the Jungle and Pump Your Brakes are doing a mashup collaboration where we will be doing live at the same time on the Steel Curtain Network and on Running Through the Jungle. So check us out there. Pay, tell where to check you next.
Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel on YouTube. Frustrated Chicago Sports Fans podcast. Everywhere you get your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Pandora, all the same. Check us out there. We have our next episode dropping tomorrow. Our review from the Detroit Lions and Chicago Bears. Quickly after that game finishes.
All right, that's all we've got for today. But you can check us out again next Wednesday, 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time, as we reach PayDirt.